Hello from Székesfehérvár. I think this is a city that I cannot pronounce. So I'm here on another day trip in Budapest. I just got to the station from Budapest Kelenföld train station, and I'm here to now explore like another lovely town where I saw a really good castle on Google Maps. It's quite hot today again. Our first point of interest, which is the Soviet cemetery with all the Ukrainian soldiers that helped to liberate Hungary during World War II. So they have this cemetery dedicated to the people that helped liberate these lands during the Nazis. When the Nazis were trying to plant an offense at Balaton Lake, and the Soviet army helped to defeat them and liberate these lands. And you can also see that on these pillars they have all of these Cyrillic names. So they're not Hungarian names, but Cyrillic names, like here, like Bardai, Tkachenko, Barabash, Baranovsky, Filimonov, Findovoy. I can understand Cyrillic, I can read it, I can understand Russian a little bit. I am not Russian though, but I can read the names. You can see that a lot of them are actually all quite young. They're all like 20 years old, or sometimes 30 years old, but a lot of 20 years old that helped to end World War II back then. The cemetery is one of the first things I run into as I get off the train to Székesfehérvár. It's a difficult name. This place is also on the way to Balaton Lake. I actually paused this place on the train as well when I was going to Balaton. And now I am finally going to explore this town because I didn't have time to make a stop here when I went to Balaton because it would have been too crunched. So I'm finally making it to the city center of this place. It's actually quite a walk from the train station, so it took way longer than I anticipated to get here. But now I'm finally here. There's actually not a lot going on. Google Maps already tells me I'm in the city center, but I don't think there's really been a lot going on so far. But I'm going to see what I can find. So I found the local cathedral right now. Time to check out the inside. This cathedral is really insane. They got like all of these beautiful frescoes on the ceiling. I'm currently the only one inside the church. This is why I'm speaking. You can see really how beautiful this place is. One of the weirdest things just happened that oftentimes I'm met with amazement when I try to fly my drone, but this time the church granny decided to get on my case. He only spoke Hungarian, I had no clue what she meant, so I was just flying my drone, tried to get it up like 200 meters, and when I landed she was like, "Nya, nya," or something. So maybe she's saying that I can't fly a drone, but I am following the rules when I fly it, so I should technically totally be fine, and I will fly it again because, again, I'm mostly complying with the laws and the rules and try to avoid the no-fly zones, and this is not a no-fly zone, so I can legally do it. Time to eat some food. I got some Chinese veggie with tofu and some rice, so time to eat. I finally am in a more lively bit of the city center of Székesfehérvár. It has all of the cute Austria-Hungarian vibes. I'm just walking around a little bit. And you have a lot of pretty buildings around, but obviously it's much smaller than Budapest itself. And all of a sudden the wind is picking up. And here is the apple fountain of the city, Orsa Salma, I think, or Orsa Salga. It's an apple statue with 3 lions, and this represents the royal status this city used to have, or the royal vibe that used to be here. And here we have a tomb site and stone walls from an historic church used for medieval coronations and royal burials. It has this little area for this. I wanted to go inside, but you can perfectly see it from the outside. So yeah, since you have to buy like a ticket, it's not very expensive, but I figured since I could just see it from the outside, I just film it from the outside. So this used to be actually the city where queens were crowned here. So there are a lot of queens that were actually crowned here in Székesfehérvár. It says origin of queens crowned in Székesfehérvár. And they also have a little car where you can buy or borrow books from. I'm not sure if it's free for the taking, that you put one in and you take one, or you just buy one. It seems that you can trade in books or take them for free, which is a very cute idea. Found the bus station, and now it's time to go to the Borivar Castle. I have arrived in the Borivar neighborhood, or the Bori Castle neighborhood. What surprises me is that this is incredibly residential. It doesn't really look like the neighborhood where you would find a castle. I'm just seeing peaceful houses in the background. It's just a road with some school kids getting off that are getting home from school, and nothing else really is happening here. But apparently I am on the right road to the castle according to Google Maps. This doesn't really look like it, but I'll find out when I get there. I found the castle, and this is apparently the full scale of it. So they have a little miniature version of the castle here, because all of these statues, and I can already see the courtyard with all the roses from here. So I made it to the Borivar Castle here. I'm inside. It was 3,000 florins, which I think is 7 to 8 euros to enter. It was built by a sculptor named Geno Bori. He was a professor of sculpture at the College of Fine Arts and that of architecture at the Technical University of Budapest. I am reading this off my phone because it's quite a bit of information. And he decided to build this castle over 40 summers. He bought this plot of land. At first there wasn't much, so there was like a type of wine cellar, a wine vault, and a press house, and that was all there was. And eventually, after the First World War was over and he could afford it, he started building this with his sculptor commissions over the period of 40 summers, and he kept adding and adding until he had this entire castle here. It's absolutely stunning and mind-blowing. I got this absolutely lovely rose garden going on in the front of it, which just adds to the whole fairy tale vibe that's going on here. These type of murals which almost make you think as if it's a royal castle. There is a big group of tourists, so I am just waiting before I go to the inner courtyard. But you just have to imagine that this entire complex, this entire castle, of which I've only explored just a little bit so far, was just designed by one man. And mostly created by one man. I don't know, he probably had obviously hired some builders to make it. But this was basically one man's plan and one man's dream to just build this over 40 summers. It has a massive art collection all around in a lot of the rooms. This lovely inner courtyard is lined with all of these statues up there, and it still has really good sunlight and more lovely roses just like at the entrance. I think the thing about this castle is that although it is very lovely, it's just kind of off the beaten path, so to speak. You have to take a train from the west side of Budapest, and from there on you also need to take a bus, and this can also take like another half hour. So already first you're 10-20 minutes on your way to the train station, 40-50 minutes in the train, and then you still get like half an hour bus if you don't have a car. So that is why it can be a little bit difficult to come here. But if you have the opportunity, or you're staying in Budapest for a longer time and you already did Visegrad and Balaton, I would definitely recommend coming to Székesfehérvár, the city, or Borivar, this castle. And we got the upper deck here. Oh, there's even somebody down there doing a wedding photo shoot here. It's a really beautiful place for these type of photos. It's really hot up here. It's just lined with all of these statues. The whole castle's just statues and flowers and paintings. It's so beautiful here. I think if you have the time to come here from Budapest, it's worth it. But it does take a bit to get here. That's true what I said earlier. Now at the very top platform, the view is absolutely stunning. You can see some of the mountains in the background. It's really strange because you can tell that over there is just a residential area, and they have this beautiful castle just about in the middle of all of it, which is not where you would expect it, but here it is. So yeah, got even a slightly higher platform. You can see the Hungarian flag, if I'm about right, here in the background too. Can I frame it? It's a bit difficult with the sun glare because I don't know what I'm shooting right now. There's no access here, but even here you can see like a type of really beautiful office, even though it looks like you can't enter it, unfortunately. And this seems to be the only entrance, and then if you step out your office, you will automatically see all of this view. Here there's another lookout platform to have the view of the castle. It's pretty much the same height as the other one, except this one has the view of the front where you enter the castle. It's almost closing time, just a few minutes, so I think it's time to go find a toilet and then see if I can do some epic drone shots from outside of the complex. And it also has this lovely seat here that's just covered in foliage. It's so cute to sit here. I really love it.